Auric continues his journey on planet Gorn in Exo Manowar number 5.
You are now watching WhoDooTV.
Welcome to WhoDooTV. I'm Jared.
And I'm Hooser.
And today we're talking about Exo Manowar number 5.
Written by Matt Kindt, art by Doug Braithwaite, and colors by Diego Rodriguez.
Hey, a quick spoiler warning. We've read this book. We hope you have too. But if you haven't, press pause and go read it. We'll be here when you're done with it.
To catch up where we're at in this book, we have videos for issues 1 through 4. In the last issue, Auric had just gained the trust of the Burnt King. He also learned a lot about the Azurians' way of doing war, and he did not like it. He also captured the Cadmian president that was a decoy, and he also was given leave, and he went back home to see that Shanhara had paid a visit to his girlfriend Shone.
So this book picks up right where number 4 leaves off. We're in Auric's home with Shone, and they're discussing kind of what Shanhara has revealed to Shone. So Auric had to leave early to lead an assault with the Azurian army on the Cadmian city of Mariner. They have news that the president is actually on Mariner, and so they are pretty much attacking and going in all force.
During this battle, Auric is confronting one of the Cadmium elite giants, and it is the coolest scene where he splits him right down the middle and opens him up like a can of soup. In typical Auric fashion, he finds his way directly to the president. And then there is one of the most intense scenes where the president is asking for consideration, and Auric is telling him that he is a coward, that he has a bloodless sword and a unblemished armor, and real leaders will kill with their soldiers, and they will also die with their soldiers. And Auric sends the guys to kill the president.
Upon returning to the Azurian barracks, Auric is told that he has a summons from the Emperor himself, and he's sent to go speak with the Azurian Emperor. When he gets to the Emperor tells him that the Burnt people are kind of acting up. He knows that Auric has a relationship with the Burnt, so he is tasking him to go and see what's going on. The Burnt have been moving into Azurian cities because something has spooked them, and he wants to know what's going on. He wants them to be in their place.
Auric had learned that the Burnt are coming to the city, and he goes to the Burnt King and asks him, why are you coming to the city? Auric learns that there's a floating tower weapon that is releasing like a monster upon the Burnt, pushing them towards the Azurian cities. The Burnt King lets Auric know that the weapon is actually an Azurian weapon. Upon learning this, Auric agreed to change his allegiance, knowing he is going to be the enemy of the planet. But he said he is going to need a weapon, a particular weapon.
So Auric returns home, and there's this scene where he runs into Shone, and she's like, why are you home right now? And he just stares at her, and she says, oh, I know why you're here. It's out in the back. So he walks to the back, and there's Shanhara just floating there, the suit. He approaches Shanhara, and they have a conversation about their relationship. He's like, why are you in my life? Why haven't you chosen another person? And Shanhara reveals they can't choose another person. He's bonded with them. And Shanhara reveals that Auric is this barbarian, this Visigoth, this person that doesn't have a whole lot of knowledge, and how can he comprehend what he's been seeing? How can he be so able to speak 3 different languages that aren't even human, and to take in all the information of all the different types of people he's run into, and all this stuff? And he says, you need me. You need me to be able to maintain your mind. And at the end of this, Auric pretty much tells him, I'm taking you, but you're not going to speak to me. I'm not taking the helmet. Shanhara tries to argue with him, and he just yells at him, quiet, and he walks away with just the pants. It's this intense scene, and more of just how complicated their relationship really is. And this book is awesome. This issue was amazing.
I freaking love this book. Very intense from the beginning. All of it was just great. Braithwaite's art was probably the best I've seen his. I enjoyed every bit of it this time. I felt like he missed a panel when Auric split that cadmium elite down the middle. That would have been a great freaking splash page with that cut down the middle like that. So cool. But ultimately, there was a lot in this book.
This book has some really cool, notable scenes in it. For instance, like this we're showing you. Look at the way that in each panel, Braithwaite has chosen to put Auric further and further back into the background and bringing his people around him. So Auric is standing still, and we're getting more of a focus on his attackers. And it's just this really cool piece of art. I thought it was so awesome and so cinematic. Really great choice.
One thing in the story that I saw is how Shone's point of view has changed about this war from issue number 1 to issue number 5. In issue number 1, she was all for the war and how the Cadmiums were the worst people and they oppressed the Azurians. But now, in issue number 5, she's telling Auric, you don't have to go to war, the Azurians aren't really that great either. And so I'm kind of curious of what was the change to her. Why did she go from all about the war to no, stay home, the Azurians aren't that great anyway?
This book really highlights how independent Auric is and how he's kind of fighting for himself. He can kind of jump to allegiance wherever he wants, and he doesn't really care. It's kind of about what he's doing, and he's kind of his own army. It's really, really interesting.
For example, the way when he's walking in to meet the Emperor and the general's trying to instruct him on this is how you should approach him, and Auric just tells him, quiet. You did this to me in the war, you've done this, and you've tried to kill me like it was nothing. No. And the guy goes, how dare you talk to me, know your role, and Auric goes, I know my role, and you're the one sitting outside the door. And I just love the way he brought that out, because he is just his own person right now. Another great part was that conversation with Auric and Shanhara talking about their relationship together. Auric asking, why did you lie to Shone? And then Shanhara really kind of saying, did I? Did I really lie? You underestimate me. This book really lets us know that Shanhara does know a whole lot, more than we even know in this book itself. But from Book of Death, we know that Auric does have a kid. We continue to get more of the story about Shanhara and Auric bonding together, that they are basically soulmates in a way, and that Shanhara is not going to go out and find another host body to work with.
The great thing about this issue is we actually do see Auric don a part of the suit. But I have to say, it's really interesting. Earlier episodes, I was kind of like, man, when the heck are we going to get this suit on? And now seeing him start to put it on, it's kind of like, man, I actually really like the fact that we haven't seen the full suit yet. It really does build that relationship between Auric and Shanhara. It's a really interesting dynamic, and I think even him, I know he just took the pants, so he can't really talk to Shanhara, but I think it's going to be really interesting when he does put the entire suit on, and I hope we actually do get a few more issues where that doesn't happen. Like, there's got to be something big that's got to happen to get him to really agree to don the entire piece. So I think it's really cool. I just want to mention that, like, my opinion has changed on this one.
I am enjoying the fact that they are making that relationship go back and forth to where it's adding a whole nother element to the story, to where it is two different characters, and we're getting to see more of who Auric is. So let's score this book up.
Yeah. I loved this book. Praise to the art, praise to the story, praise to all those cool little moments in this book. This is a straight 5 for me. This book is awesome. I think this leaves an awesome direction for the rest of the series. What do you think?
I have to say this is my favorite book of this run so far. I know we're only 5 issues in. This was an intense book. I enjoyed all of it. The art was great, and the writing and the story just continues to impress. I, too, am going to be a 5. This was a stellar issue.
So Hooser, over under on issue 10, when do you think we're going to see the full suit of Shanhara?
That's a good question, dude. If I had to guess, I'm going to say issue number 9. It's going to be what ties us in for issue number 10 on the new arc there.
Okay, so the end of Emperor, that's when that one will be.
Yep. What do you guys think? When do you think we're going to actually see Exo Manowar in all of its glory?
Hey, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button below.
There's also that subscribe button down there too. Make sure you punch that. We'd appreciate it. Follow us at Twitter at WhoDooTV, also on Facebook.
Yeah, and we'd like to thank our friends over at OutrightGeekery.com. Be sure to check them out. They got all sorts of nerdy stuff on there.
Links down in the description. Thank you for watching WhoDooTV. We appreciate you guys.